Leanne Poellinger is a local mixed media artist who works in a variety of mediums, including paper collage, mosaics, acrylics, watercolor, ink, and wax. She shares with us her process, upcoming shows, and what's next for her. I'm Amy, and he's Brent, and this is La Crosse Local.
My name is Leanne Poellinger. I was born and still live in La Crescent, Minnesota, so I'm a lifer. Kind of have always been interested in arts and crafts and colorful things. As a kid, it was more like making my own paper dolls and coloring, and I was being a doodler all through high school and college. I still doodle when I go to meetings and people look at me, but it kind of helps me concentrate. And I wish I would have come up with the idea for adult coloring books, because as an adult, I would buy kid coloring books because I like coloring so much. So I wish I would have come up with that $1 million idea. I went to college for business, so not a lot of creativity there, but my career is as the marketing and development director for the Children's Museum. So I get to be pretty creative in that job.
Looking at your work, it's fun. It seems like touching on everyday life. How would you describe your work to someone who's never seen it?
Yeah, I really don't have any deep hidden meanings or anything. I would probably consider it happy. I like a lot of color, so most of the things that I do has a lot of color, often, at least most recently, a lot of texture. I do multimedia stuff, so it has some texture to it, and really just try to make things look a little whimsical. I usually work from photos, so things that I make are sort of realistic looking, but sometimes I throw some extra funky colors in there just to make them a little more bright. So I would say happy is how I would describe my work.
You do work in a variety of medium: paper, collage, mosaics, acrylics, watercolor, ink. You have some, I think, caustic there, which is, of course, wax. How do you go about choosing what you're going to work in, or do you just throw it all on there at once?
Yeah, it's really, I get in little spurts where I've never been trained in art. So I see things online, or I see something that somebody else has done, and so I want to try it myself. So I turned one of my son's old bedrooms into my sort of studio. So I have mosaic stuff in one area and ink in another area, and then I just go in little spurts where I play with different mediums, and I really get into it for a while, and then I see something else I want to try. So my current thing is paper collage. I've really been having a lot of fun with that. It's something that's very portable, so I can take paper and glue with me somewhere else and play around with it, and it's just cutting and tearing and gluing and layering and turning things into a representation of a photo, and it adds a lot of color and texture.
Also, just touch on nostalgia, the past, and family, bugs, being out in summertime. I mean, it really kind of seems to touch on a variety of different topics.
Yeah, I've done quite a few things with children. Obviously, I work for the Children's Museum, and who doesn't love children? But I've done a series they're a combination of paper collage and watercolor, some images with children just in different scenarios, looking, sweet as they do. So I've been having fun with that. I just started one. I've only got one piece done so far, but interior scenes. I did a bedroom scene. We're all in our houses so much that I thought, we're trying to make our houses maybe more comfortable and more welcoming since we're stuck in them so much. So I've just started a collage series with some interior scenes. I hope to do some more of those. That was kind of fun and a different thing to do a picture of. So yeah, I just do, what I see. If I see a photo I like, or I take a photo I like, I sometimes try to make an interpretation of that. And really, again, no real hidden meaning, just familiar sights, happy sights. I love being outside. I love the sunshine. I love color and flowers. So a lot of things I do have those images in them as well.
Coming up, you have an art show entitled Paper Paintings to be exhibited at the Pump House next spring. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, the paper painting sort of represents the paper collage that I've mentioned and that I've really been enjoying doing. I tear or cut little bits of paper, and they're not much bigger than a brush stroke. So just layer them and put them together in different ways to represent an image. So paper paintings is a good way to describe. Other collage artists have used that term, and I really like it because it really does. It makes an image with little bits of paper put together instead of a brush stroke. So the group that I plan to use for the Pump House, although now it's been delayed because they've had to delay everybody else. So I think I'm into next fall now. But anyway, would be this group of the child images that I've talked about. And maybe I'll expand that. I've got some time to do some new things. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, being able to display in my local area. I've had some displays out of the area, but not a lot locally. So that will be fun.
What have you been working on recently? Has anything been kind of changed up, or working on anything in particular?
I've done a few commissions recently, which I really love doing. So if somebody wants something specific, then I know it's something that will be meaningful to them. I did a graduation collage for a friend's son and just put lots of images from his college life in there, and that was really fun to do. I actually was able to do a very unique thing. I did a collage on a saw blade for someone's husband is in the construction business, and did a logo and image of his business building. And I've done a couple pet portraits in collage that have been really fun too. So those, I love doing things for specific people, because then I know it's something that they will like and it will have meaning to them. I've also been involved recently with a group. There's a cooperative artist gallery that recently opened in Rochester, and I'm part of that. In fact, I'm heading there to work my shift later this evening. So I have some items displayed there, along with about 40 artists that have items for sale and for viewing there. And I've been working with some local initiatives too. We're trying to get some more opportunities for local artists in the La Crosse area to have ways to show and sell their art, and working on some mural options in La Crosse. And so lots of cool things going on.
So if people want to find you, follow along, find out where a show is, or maybe potentially what you're selling, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. It's Art by Leanne P. So ArtByLeannep. And I also have a website in development, but it's got quite a bit on it so far. And that, again, is artbyleannep.com.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you would like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Locals. Subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We thank you for it.